Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark 3 and welcome back to my little adventure on From the Depths. Picking up where I left off last time, I am getting away from whatever that hostile contact is over there, because I don't want to fight at just this moment. Instead, I would rather be doing what I have said to you guys in the comments is my immediate priority, which is, well, getting some anti-aircraft weaponry fitted onto this thing, because it might kind of need it, you know? I don't want to get caught and blown up just because I didn't have the right weaponry on me. Because that seems like it would be a slight downside to surviving this long and doing this well in the end of the last video. So I'm just going to start by adding some weaponry onto this. It's not going to be anything special, it's going to just be a... yeah, it's just going to be a standard turret, really. Missile turret, one axis, can't tip up and down like the other ones can, because I do not want it to be engaging just randomly anything and then turning the wrong way and shooting into the ship and all the kinds of things that they love to do sometimes. And this is in a good position to do it as well, so that's another reason why I don't want to. The only thing really noteworthy that I'm doing inside it is I'm going to tuck this ejector add-on right underneath here. So that's going to be like that, then those are just going to be on the sides, and that's all there is to it. So I'm going to actually pause it now and come back when I get to the other end of the construction. So yeah, I'll see you in just a few moments. Okay, I've got that missile turret now just put together, and I'm doing some little AI fiddling. Some maximum altitude, I want you to hit anything that's below 40. Yeah, I'm programming the controllers in the actual torpedo turrets on the sides just to go after ships now. They're going to engage anything below 40 meters above the water, because some big ships do sit quite high up. Maximum range 2 kilometers because they're short range torpedoes. Yeah, short range. And minimum range is 500 because they aren't really that good at shooting things, you know, directly underneath them. So it's 300 meters straight down to the water. I want them to have a slight angle so that the missiles can actually go in the right direction and keep a lock on whatever it is they are pointing at. So let's go up to this missile turret and show you what I'm doing with it. First things first, I want to extra constraints on the rotation because I don't want it to turn more than 90 degrees either way. So the full 180 is just not on. Oops, that's the wrong thing. It can't do elevation anyway, it's not the right kind of turret, so I don't know why I was worried about that. Full on 90, yep, required accuracy, doesn't really need it. Besides, I want to set that in the weapon controller anyway. Weapon controller, accuracy, no limit, so it'll fire at anything that gets too close. Now I just need to get the missile set up, and I also need to add a bit of armour onto it. Now, why a 5-tube missile? Because this is the best thing to fit into this kind of space arrangement. Sitting on top of it, words. It always trips me up somewhere, doesn't it? Because it's sitting on top of the hull like this, so it needs the turret included inside the design. So 5 just encircles it like that and gives it a nice little shape in this fashion here. It's slightly front heavy, but it's not too big of an issue. Now let's get these missiles set up. Okay. These are going to be simple blind fire infrared seekers, so I'm going to leave the infrared tip on it. I'm going to give them 2 warheads so they've got a decent kind of punch on them. Leave the 1 turn in there behind it, then I'm going to give them a pair of fuel tanks after that. It needs 2 fuel tanks to give it at least some range, because a single fuel tank, since I'm hovering around 300, it's not going to be enough anyway. And then 3 fins, so it's really quite a viable weapon. I was saying veil because I was just putting the variable thruster on it, which I'm going to leave with a 1-second ramp time and reduce its power to 800 just to conserve a little bit of fuel, give it a bit more flight time at the cost of a slightly reduced speed. So yeah, that is going to be my chosen anti-aircraft missile system. Let's get back to modding the actual hull itself beneath it, because it now needs a weapon control. And let's put mirror mode on before I forget again. Yep. Weapon control. Localized weapon controller. Put it on. Doesn't need a fire safe because it's a fire safe. I'm not doing too well with my words today, am I? A fail safe. Max range 1000. Max range 1 kilometer. It's a close range interdiction missile. It's not meant to shoot at things further away than that. But now I just need to give it connectors so that it's actually all hooked up. Yep, that'll do. And then split it so it'll connect straight into the AI system there, leaving a metal block beneath where I'm sitting. So yes, that is my new anti-aircraft weapon system hooked in. It just needs a bit of detection system so they can actually properly sense things. And that's going to be in the form of passive radar. I know it's not as good as an active detector, but I'm still kind of relying a bit in stealth mode, so I don't want to do things like that. Retroflect sensor. Can detect visual sensors and things like that? Sure, but can it detect an infrared camera? Wireless camera, camera 90, camera 360, and camera gimbal tracker. Okay, so it doesn't list IR cameras, so I'm going to put a pair of IR cameras forward-facing as well for extra range detection like that. Or, just to make it neat, like that. Sure, that looks okay. It just needs a couple of processing cards so my AI can actually use it properly. And because I don't have any real space, I'm going to tack those straight into the hole there. Not enough. Is that still enough? Not enough? It needs 10 total, so 99% effect. There we go, just a little bit more, get it working. And just need to give this thing some frontal armouring as well, just to make it a bit more protected. Oh yeah, there's a tracking card there. Okay. That gives me anti-aircraft capability. And fairly good anti-aircraft capability as well. There's a couple of enemies over there, so I suspect they're fighting. And there's nothing else within range, so I'm going to float here, and I'm going to actually start work on my ammunition system now, which I think is my next critical project. And that is going to be attached to the very back of the craft, so I'll get back to you as soon as I've got something of interest to show you. Okay, I think I have something which may be of interest to you guys, and that is this. The new section I am adding onto the back of my craft, which, now that I think about it, still has no name. And the only name actually suggested to me was something along the lines of, because it's haunted by ghost blocks, give it this one. What was it? The, you know, I've completely forgotten. The... What was it? That thing about a ghost ship. I don't remember what it is, I'm sorry. But that was the only name actually suggested to me. So, here we go. This is going to be a treble layer armor system. Like this. So it's going to be a bit on the thick side, but it's actually a pretty good layer because it's 3 thick. It's going to be pretty darn tough against something that hits it. It's got metal for its outer and inner layers, so you know, high resistance there and some armor defense too. So it's going to resist some piercing rounds. It's going to resist explosives, but sandwiched in the middle of all this is this layer here of wood. And what that is going to do is it's going to give this armour slightly less health and damage resistance overall, but it's going to make it a little bit lighter. And more importantly, the reason for this is that it will also resist EMP effects trying to pass through it. So this armour style is actually pretty good against an EMP based attack. It won't let it through, it'll help shelter AI systems and stuff like that, which is on the other side of it. You know, that kind of thing. So it can actually be a very effective defense. So yeah, that's going to be the new home of my explosive materials, meaning all my ammo. Let's start getting that in there. Resources, ammo storage. Oh, I actually made it slightly bigger than I was planning to. Oh well, more ammo for me, I suppose. I was planning to make it only a 3x3 length, but I've made it a 3x5 by accident. Actually, let's reduce it to a 3x3. Yeah. Because I don't want it to be a 3x5. I don't want this thing to be ridiculously big, so, you know. And a couple of 3 blocks will round this out. Okay. Yeah. That'll do it. I'm just continuing to float here, and actually my altitude is slowly dropping. I don't have enough lift, so I need more lift. Let's put another lifting piece here, give you the works. There we go. Okay, that should help get me back into the air a little bit, I think. Okay, I'm climbing. I actually dropped down to 40 meters or so, so not too good. So yeah, now that I've shown you what I'm doing with my actual ammunition system, I can continue to armour this, and I'll get back to you when I've got something of interest to you. Which might be a bit, because there's no enemies really knocking about. There are some... yeah, there are some resource pockets over in that direction, a long way away. But there's nothing else really going on, so... I get to build in peace. I better enjoy it while it lasts, I suppose. I am continuing my building efforts, just a bit at a time. With the torpedoes and missile systems sorted out, what I'm actually trying to do now is I'm pushing the back of the craft out even further, and it's only 2 meter thick metal this time, instead of, you know, the 3 meter thick metal wood hybrid which I've got on around my ammunition storage. And I'm doing this because, well, I need a better engine, actually. That's my sole reason for it. So yeah, I'm going to start mounting an engine into this back compartment here, just to boost my power and actually let me, you know, fly. Because I'm using up more and more power just trying to keep this entire thing working. Yeah, that looks okay. Let's go ahead and put in an adapter, because I want to drop it down a level. And then I'm going to put a cylinder straight onto the sides of that. Because I found that the adapters, you can actually plug cylinders in all directions on it, so that can lead to some pretty interesting engine arrangements, if you're careful with it. Like I'm going to do this one here, and I'm going to put another one up there. Yep, and then I'm going to do this again using the cylinders and then carburetor. So that is a pair of them just mashed into the sides there, and that'll give it a total of 400 horsepower, which is quite nice. And then, because of how I arranged it, I'm going to use the turbochargers. Again, for fuel efficiency's sake, I want to have a really efficient engine. So I'm going to do it like that. And I want to pull out the exhaust, so it's going to be like that. Yeah. That's just merging it all together for the exhaust. And it's pretty good. So yeah, there we go. 2 highly efficient cylinders, each side, 400 extra horsepower, keeping my craft going. My altitude is stable, my power level, I've got 1,000 spare right now, though I am going to tear out that engine in the front as well. I don't want to leave that there, I must admit. So yep, I'm afraid that engine is going to go. Just putting some armour up here because there's something else I want to pull out. Now, why am I moving things backwards like this? Because I want to actually move my seat backwards as well. And it's a vulnerability which has just occurred to me. If I get hit too hard anywhere, I'm actually going to be vulnerable to a piercing attack. Like, if something punches through my forward armour, which is largely wood with some metal, I want to be able to resist that kind of impact. So I'm going to clear out that engine, move my chair backwards into this area here where my thrusters used to be, which I've left empty quite nicely, and then I'm going to put another layer of armour around myself to help ensure that I'm going to live. Because I don't want to get killed. For some strange reason. But yeah, now that I've shown you what I'm actually going to start doing with this engine, I'll get back to you again in just a few moments. Though I've only got 3,500 resources left to play with in this particular rebuild. So there is that to consider. Okay, fog has rolled in. I can't see for toffee right now. I can't tell if something's trying to draw close to me or anything like that. But in other news, my engine has actually been, well, with the exception of the exhaust system, this engine is actually complete. All that it requires now is, yeah, as I said, the exhaust system to pull the gases out and then ensure that it's operating as efficiently as possible. I'm still sitting completely unnoticed around here actually, so let's turn around and see how well I'm doing for stability in my craft right now. Because I'm doing just fine for power. Slight downward tip. There we go. And now, okay. This craft is actually pretty darn stable. And it's flying at a fair clip as well. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Now it's just time to get the exhaust system in place and the armour for the engine, because that is also somewhat important. If there's one thing I know in this game, it is high efficiency engines. X-pipe, yep. Or rather the exhaust system's for same, because the exhaust makes or break a high efficiency engine, actually. I swear this is the worst part of building a high efficiency engines. If you really want to make it highly efficient, you've got a lot of work to do. And a lot of weight to add as well, actually. These things are heavy. Okay, I thought you might like to see this before I actually fully button it up and tuck it away. But this is the fuel engine I've concocted at the back of the craft for my 1200 high efficiency diesel power. It is a tangled mess of exhaust pipes and things like that, but all of these cylinders are as efficient as you can get. They are producing 100 power for 0.14 fuel at maximum outputs. So yeah, this thing is barely sipping at my fuel stocks anymore. And then all of that exhaust gas is just routed up here behind the craft. So if something's coming at me from behind, it'll go for the exhaust if it's got a heat sensor, rather than my actual jet engines, which are just down below it. So a bit of extra protection, I hope. But with that in place, I can now actually go into the front of my craft, down here, and tear out this fuel engine at the front, because it is no longer needed. And it's double-ended for some reason. I'm not sure why that... No, wait, that was a cylinder I pulled out. Never mind. Okay, yeah. That is all of that. What even is that anymore? Yep, that is the entire thing. Give me a 3-length beam just to support that heli spinner, and there we go. The front of the craft has lost most of its active heat producers and everything else that it might need, so that leaves the back as the main thing that needs to be protected. And it's also the thing that's pointing away from the enemy anyway, so you know, that alone will afford it some protection. How much resource have I actually got left? So I'm just dropping below 2,000 now. I need to actually go out and start getting some more resources, because that is actually not very much left. And if I take any heavier damage, I won't be able to replenish it, so... Okay. Thing is, I've not actually really been attacked either, so... I've not taken any kind of battering. I think a single layer of armour is going to have to be all that the engine will get for the time being, because I can't afford to give it more. That's all slotting into place quite nicely. Though it needs the underside armour, of course, because last thing I want is this engine to get blown up from underneath, and then I'd have to replace the entire thing. So, you know. Okay, I think this craft is about as mod as I can do it. I've reduced my resource capacity slightly. I've moved it all back away from the front of the craft, and it's now in that little bulge on top. And I've only got like a couple hundred resources left, so all that's left now is to take out the ship's wheel, take out that weapon controller, and then take out this chair, and then get out of build mode. Because it is now time to take up my new residence back here, a bit further behind, a bit further in the safety of the ship. Now, do I have enough resources left to wall this off? I believe I do. After all, I've got 287 now. Let's give us some 3-meter beams. Can you rotate it, please? Thank you. Right, okay. Right, there we go. This craft is now changed. It is a shadow of its former self in some respects, but it's also grown into something more as well. So it's looking pretty nice. And of course, with the fronts like this, it can now be better armoured and stuff like that too. Yep, okay, that's looking good. And unfortunately, now, I am now completely out of resources except for that remaining 250. So this craft has to head into battle and try to find some more resources. Should be okay. I mean, I've got... Ooh, hello, speak of the devil. That is actually quite nice timing. Where did you come from? You came from that guy over there, I think. Whatever you are. So yeah, I was just saying I need to actually go and shoot something, and suddenly there's some shells just sailing past overhead, so something is trying to shoot me. And I, for one, am ready to answer the challenge. What the heck are those? Something else is shooting at me as well. Ooh. Well, this is going to get either interesting or I'm going to die. Those are airburst shells, so I actually want to try and stay away from that a little bit. I'm not sure entirely what that is. Ooh. Yep, it is that thing ahead of me over there, which is trying to bombard me at long range. I suspect it's something I'm quite familiar with, but still. Most impressive thing about this change, actually, is that while I am much heavier than I was before, I'm actually just as fast as I was before as well, and actually slightly faster than a ship about a third the size. So yeah, I'm going to keep going, because that thing is trying to hit me with anti-aircraft shells, and I'm not too happy about that. I'm not even sure what that is, except that I am just outside its range, it looks like. And that thing seems to have stopped shelling me, so I'm not sure what's going on really. Either way, I'm going into battle in this big monstrosity, which is not named, so again, I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but if you guys have any suggestions, except for the Flying Dutchman, since this thing is no longer haunted by many ghost blocks like it used to be, if you've got any suggestions, let me know. So that is my question for today's video, as I move in to try and get some combat to round things out just a little bit. Yeah, I'd say I'm in good condition for this fight. That craft seems to be more or less ignoring me, and that craft is not fighting me either. So let's risk a quick look in E mode as my craft wanders slowly across the countryside. What are you? You are a catapult. I do not recognise that at all. And you are a Palisade. That's an Onyx watch ship, but apart from that, I don't actually recognise it. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. The Palisade, however, seems to have plenty of advanced cannons, so I might not be fitted out to deal with that kind of thing, to be quite honest. This thing, though, I think I could do a drive-by bombing and torpedo run on it, so that sounds like a good idea. Oh, it's got some advanced anti-aircraft cannons. Don't know how strong they are because they are missing a lot. Some dings. Not doing much, I don't think. And there goes a volley of my own, just to pay it back for that. While I continue to weave to try and throw its aim off a bit. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be strong enough to do much to me. While my weapons and systems are definitely doing something to it in turn. Come on. Oh dear. I'm losing some blocks. But there goes the cannon. Okay, this should be helping out a little bit. Ow! Yeah, this is actually quite a powerful bomb when it drops it. Let's turn around because that palisade, whatever it is still firing at me, so I need to be aware of it. But the thing below me, I'm just going to start bombing it flat and getting some more resources off it. Oh, I said bombing it flat, not missing completely. Silly thing. Still kind of wary of that palisade though. I don't want to really face it, because if I do, it's probably going to do nasty things to me. Because it's got those flak AA, so that might be a bit of an issue. Come on, bombs, I thought you were better than this. Oh, there go the shells. Oh dear. Perhaps what I really need to do is... Actually, yeah, let's do that. While these shells go sailing past, I'm going to go into my AI system and I'm going to get a coincidence range finder to attach to my underside scanning systems. Just to make sure the bomb's actually hitting, though I better make sure not to bomb behind me though, because that will collide with it, so yeah. Let's turn this way, keep on going. The torpedoes have found the palisade, so they are starting to turn that way. But make note, don't try to bomb things unless they are in front of me. And oh, yep, direct hits. That's definitely doing better. The palisade got distracted. Something else. There's another ship out there. This has been a really long time recording because I was building so much and the engine was such a hassle. But I think I'm going to do okay from this. I'm just going to keep bombing it flat though. I never actually upgraded the bombing system. That's the thing. Come on, keep firing. I need better weapons, still. But I think this craft below me is actually... Oops, some shells are heading this way. I want to turn and make sure I don't get hit. Oh, anti-aircraft is hitting me. I'm not too happy about that. I think the paliside's probably got to be a priority. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm getting shredded. This is why I did not want to fight the palisade openly. Because I knew that it would have enough firepower to damage my more fragile areas. And it has done. So I'm actually going to see if I can close the range on it a bit. Nope. Yeah, I'm taking some direct hits now. Come on, come on, keep rebuilding. I know that the ship behind me is going to start hitting me soon as well. Ouch. Why did you turn towards me? Why? I was having a jolly old time not getting shot at. But now I'm getting shot at all over the place and it's... I'm in a hail of explosions once more. don't want to be in the path of those, so get out of the way. Ow. That's both my torpedo systems gone. This might not be a good... Oh, those are going to hit me. Boom. Armour took the hit. Okay. I can get on top of that massive floating fortress down there now. Oh, I could if my engine hadn't just been crippled. Oh dear. Come on, engine. Come on, engine. I need the engine back. Give me my engine back. Please. Engine. Engine. Yes, engine. Right. Heartstone. Critical damage. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. After all that building work. No. No. Save the vehicle. Very, very quickly. Oh, I am. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. No. No. Come on. I'm going to die from a Heartstone failure, I think. This craft is too badly damaged now. Ow, 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 ow. Dead. That actually... That's par for the course as far as this entire series has been going. It's like, I was doing well to start, then I got bombed to hell, and I collapsed into the sea. Then I did really well last video. I came back, and yeah, like that. And then, ta-da! I am the Deads. Oh dear. Well, that is an explosive end to this adventure. I survived 3.5 hours. And after all that build time as well. Oh well. I didn't manage to build myself tough enough to take on a Paldicide, which is one of the heavy Onyx Watch craft. So yeah, that is quite clear. I shouldn't have tried to take that on. I thought it would just be a heavy ship, and it was like, if I could get close enough and get over its cannons, I'd be okay. But it hit me too hard, and then my engine got knocked out, so I stalled, and the results speak for itself. So, yeah. Still though, time taken 3 hours 29, par time 1 minute. I'm not even sure what that means. Oh well. At least I grabbed a save of this craft before I finished, so I can upload that onto the workshop if you guys want me to. And it also opens another option, which is I could reload into this adventure again and then immediately restructure my craft into the one that was just destroyed, because that was done entirely from stockpiled resources. So I could continue the adventure that way if you guys think I should, but I don't know, because adventure mode, part of it is getting the start and going on. So I would like a little bit of feedback on that, if that is quite okay with you guys. Still, I've been entirely honest, and I did get completely blown to pieces, so yeah, I'm going to end the video there and wait for you guys in the comments to tell me how much I just completely messed all that up. So this has been Iron Mark III. Thank you very much for watching my building and then just yeah, dead thing. And I'll catch you some other time. It'll either be for a reload or it'll be for a restart. And I'm still not entirely sure which one I would rather do, considering I just spent about an hour building this thing and it just died. So yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you some other time. That's pretty typical, that.